Director Wire. Good morning. It's indeed an honor to be here today at the Little Rock Fire Department Training Academy, where our firefighters spend a lot of time getting prepared for many different events that happen that may be preventative, but sometimes in the time of need to help our fellow resident, fellow worker, fellow tourists to make certain their life is saved. And we're very grateful for the work of the firefighters. Today we're here demonstrating true what public safety means, and that's both the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department and the Little Rock Fire Department. Happy to have beside me Chief Delphon Hubbard of the Little Rock Fire Department, Chief Heath Helton of the Little Rock Police Department, Jim Sorge, Ward 7, my city director in Southwest Little Rock, BJ Wyrick, and Sheridan Richards, who is the City of Little Rock's Chief People Officer. In times when you understand how important the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department, Fire Department are, you just look at our budget. It's close to 58% of the city's resources. They're close to more than half of the 2,500 employees at the City of Little Rock. And so we want to make certain that not only are they providing public safety, but we are making certain that they have the best health care. And we work diligently, City Director Wyrick and I and the fellow City of Little Rock Board of Directors, to ensure, as we work with the Chief People Officer and the Human Resources Department, that we have the best health insurance, but also we want to make certain that we go above and beyond as it relates to health care for our public safety team members. And so this speaks to the testament of our Human Resources Department by going and demonstrating exceptional service, having enthusiasm with our culture of how we can make certain that we create a better and a whole and well person as it relates to public safety. And so they set out some 3 years ago to bring about more improvement, innovation, and intentionality to the public safety workers as it relates to healthcare. And herein lies is the ProTeam. And ProTeam has been a part of many different states within these United States on how they focus on better public health for public safety team members. And we're excited about this. We'll learn more about that today from Mr. Jim Sorge, who is the CEO of ProTeam, and he'll share more about that today. But today is a great day, and the difference maker is we're showing the intentionality of healthcare for the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department and Fire Department. Mr. Jim Sorge.
Big thank you to Mayor Scott for having us today. A big thank you to all of you for being here today. It's a very exciting day for ProTeam Tactical Performance, and I would be remiss without mentioning a lot of our team members who are here today who had a huge part in making this happen. Our Senior Account Manager, Jordan West. Our Director of Operations, Tim Drudge. Director of Business Development and Marketing, David Smith. And my business partner and my really good friend, Joey Vandiver. And if you don't mind, I'd like Joey to kind of come up here, because it's really not my story, it's our story on how we got started. So Joey and I were lucky enough to play professional sports. I was lucky enough to play in the NFL for 7 years. He was lucky enough to play in Major League Baseball for 6 years. We retired from Major League Baseball and the National Football League, and during our time playing those sports, we were given every tool and resource that we needed to be at our best when we were on the field. After we retired, we were kind of sitting around and we came up with the idea of providing those tools and resources to the men and women of public safety. And how we got to that point is a lot of family lineage within our families are public safety members. So I have a lot of fire service members in my family. He has a lot of law enforcement and fire service in his family, as well as our staff in their families. And we thought that they were getting the exact same type of care that we were receiving as professional athletes. We were wrong. we found out that when they got hurt on the job, they almost got kind of lost in that rabbit hole and were never given the tools and resources they needed to be at their best. So the idea came about to start ProTeam Tactical Performance 6 years ago. And through our comprehensive programs and our state-of-the-art equipment and our tactical athlete clinics like you see here today, we're able to provide that care for the men and women of public safety. Somebody once told me a hero is defined as an individual that shows bravery and courage in the face of danger. Well, without hesitation, the men and women of public safety, they run into dangerous situations with no regard for their own well-being. All they think about is the well-being of others. So we decided to give them the tools and resources to be at their very best, to do their job at a very high level, because they are the ones that we call when we are in trouble. Those are heroes. Those are heroes to us. So I'm going to let Joey come up and say a few words, and then we're going to have David Smith come up and do a few thank yous. But we very much appreciate and the opportunity and are honored to serve the men and women of public safety for the city of Little Rock. Thank you.
I didn't realize I was going to be talking today, so I'll keep this short and sweet. First and foremost, thank you all for being here. What a journey this has been. As the mayor said, this started about 3 years ago, from a trip to Indianapolis from Scott and Kayla Joe to today. So very exciting times. As Jim said, you know, we are very passionate about what we do. We are very passionate about providing the best services to the men and women of public safety. I said it last week, I say it every day. My brother is in law enforcement, you know, retired law enforcement and now fire. And the stories that we hear on a daily basis are sometimes, you know, stories that we reflect on, and these folks are struggling on a day-to-day basis. And if they're hurt, you know, on the job, or they're hurt mentally, you know, we want to be there for them at their time of need. So we want to provide a space like this, a very unique space. You'll see these spaces at high level sports teams, MLB, NFL, and that's what we want to provide to our public safety members. So thank you to Scott and Kayla Joe for being consistent, for pushing this along. Thank you to both chiefs and mayor for allowing us this opportunity. But we're very thankful for being here. We will provide the best care to the men and women of Little Rock on a daily basis. So thank you guys. David.
Just going to reiterate, obviously, what both Jim and Joey shared with everybody, but it is incredible to see the commitment from this administration, from these city leaders, both from the police and the fire side, all come together. This is not something that happens in every city. So it is truly an honor from our chair as well to see you all come together to take care of your police officers and your firefighters. In particular, obviously, Mayor Scott for having us out. Thank you so much. ProTeam thanks you. Chief Helton, Chief Hubbard, you guys are the best. Again, coming together as one unit. That doesn't happen all the time, so that's pretty cool to see. Kayla Joe, been with us since the beginning. The oldest, most fit rookie police officer in the history of Little Rock, Scott Morrow. My man came out to Indy a number of times to vet our services, check out our facilities, meet with other individuals who have been through our programs in the other cities and the other states that we're with. And without his exceptional stick-to-itness, if you will, this may not have happened today. Michelle Hill, who was also in our first meeting when we came out. Chief Durham was there as well. Jenny Bradford, thank you for leading this team. Without your leadership, they probably don't achieve this type of success in bringing something to the city. We can't thank Roy, Chief Clamp, Chief Doan, Casey Jones, all fire department, thank you. We really appreciate it. Henry was one of the first guys who was here from the beginning. He was instrumental in leading this wellness group from the beginning. So Henry, you've been a rock star. We appreciate you. And then we also have our TPAs for the city of Little Rock, for both the fire and police department. Sherry and Cassidy, you guys are the adjusters who take care of all these officers and firefighters and kind of work them through the system. So we thank you as well. And then our facilities guy who helped set all this up, Jesse. He's since retired, but again, couldn't have been done without him. So I'm going to hand it back to the mayor, and he can introduce your police and fire chiefs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll now hear from both Chief Heath Helton and Chief Delphon Hubbard.
Of course, it's always interesting going behind the people that already thank the people that you're going to be thanking on your script, so I have to pivot here a little bit. But good morning. I appreciate everybody for being here. This is a tremendous time for our city today. Very important for our first responders. It shows our commitment not only to the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department, but to the men and women of the Little Rock Fire Department, and has the opportunity to be an example for the rest of the state of Arkansas, because we are one of 4 entities, agencies around the U.S. that have ProTeam as part of their partnership and resource. So very exciting for us, very proactive in what we're trying to do. And a lot of this come out of our, in 2014, December 2014, President Obama commissioned a task force. 21st Century Policing Pillars came out of that in May of 2015. Pillar number 6 has to do with officer wellness and safety. And when Chief Buckner was here at the time, we had a conversation and really pushed the wellness initiative. We formed our own wellness team within the Little Rock Police Department, and we've seen that evolve over the years. And they've done a phenomenal job, not only serving just our department, but we've helped many other departments around the state, many other first responder programs, many other entities that are not even part of law enforcement in the first responder realm. We've seen it evolve with Hazel, our wellness dog, that is now part of our team. And then we had ProTeam, that has now come to fruition. I want to thank Mayor Scott, members of the city leadership team, our wellness group that has done a lot of work, Sheridan, your team, Jenny, Kayla Joe. Can't speak enough for your initiative. I know Kayla Joe would send emails and stay on top of us to make sure we were doing what we were doing. Of course, I put Henry on her, and Henry would stay on top of it. And it was really a culmination of finally seeing this thing come together. And I remember right after we had one of our Zoom calls, I had a conversation real quick after that with Chief Hubbard, and he said, "Man, what do you think?" And I said, "I'm 100% all in. There's no reason why. I can't see a reason why we would not want to be part of something like this." And Chief Hubbard said, "I agree with you." So now, here it is. The opening of the center represents an important step to enhancing the health and wellness support for the men and women of the Little Rock Police Department and the men and women of the Little Rock Fire Department. By treating our first responders like professional athletes, ProTeam's state-of-the-art approach to dealing with work-related injuries and reducing the risk of further injuries will help the men and women of each organization. It's going to help them recover faster and return to duty in a safer and efficient manner. The goal of this is not only to improve the quality of life for our personnel now, but it's also throughout their career and going forward in the future. Thank you, ProTeam. We appreciate you all. Looking forward to seeing this thing grow and all the great things you're going to do. I know some of the men and women that we had a soft opening with some of our personnel, and I can tell you that our officers that have been here already have nothing but rave reviews. One in particular officer had a shoulder injury, severe shoulder injury, and going through his regular treatments and things like that, it was going to be a significant amount of time whether this individual was going to come back to work or not. He came in here to ProTeam. I was out here one day when he visited. First thing he did, come up, shake me and said, "Chief, I appreciate you in doing this for us. This means the world to our employees." He said, "I've learned that if I continue to stay on my aggressive treatment plan here, my time to be able to recover is going to be cut in half. I'm optimistic now. I was depressed about this thing and the optimism that I might not be able to come back to work." He has a smile now. He loves coming out here. And this is only one of many things. I'm sure the same thing is twofold for the fire department. So very excited. Thank you all for all the work that went into us, and look forward to the future. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Chief Hubbard, Little Rock Fire Department, and this is that day. This is that day as a first responder, as a leader of an organization. You want to give to your people, your number one asset in your organization, something that they need. This is not something that they wanted. So the opportunity to address a need for your personnel, because in the profession called public safety with police and fire, injuries are like simultaneous with the job, with the profession. So how do we address that? How do we make those resources available for our people to get adequate care, to be able to return back to work, not just return back to work, but return back to work whole? And so that's what the vision was when we set out on this journey. I'd like to thank the mayor and the city administration, along with HR, Sheridan and her team, but the partnership with police as we journeyed into this with ProTeam. This is a collective thing where everybody was on board saying, yes, this is what our people need. This is what we need to serve. Because in this profession, injuries happen, right? And in the midst of those physical injuries, in public safety, there's a mental aspect to it as well. Because these men and women of the Little Rock Police Department and Fire Department, they want to serve this community. They desire to serve this community. So anytime you have that downtime that they're uncertain about adequate care when it comes to addressing those injuries, it starts to impact them mentally. So as we continue to build out this nice facility that you all stand in today, we're also looking forward to the mental aspect of it to address the employee in its totality. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for the partnership. I'd like to thank the mayor, most especially because someone has to have the vision. Someone has to have the vision. And then you have to have the worker bees such as we are, and then the ability to partner with this phenomenal team that brings about such something for our most valuable asset, and that's our employees. Thank you.
As we come to the close and eventually take questions, again, we just want to share the appreciation of the teamwork and the unity amongst divisions, departments, and the private sector to take care of our people. I also want to give a shout out to Scott Morrow, who's just a recent recruit, graduate of the police department. He came over from the fire department. I wasn't aware that you were the fittest ever to come from the, but yes. I can attest you look pretty fit. But also, I believe you won the top award this past, let's give him a round of applause. You come to show yourself off? But also, in addition to that, again, while we're all up here, so many people who aren't up here who made this happen. So I want to share that appreciation to everyone within Human Resources. Again, shout out to Jenny and Henry and Kayla Joe and anyone else that we didn't name, thank you. We know it takes teamwork to get this done. We're very grateful. Any questions? Thank you so much. Oh, I guess we got it. Yeah. What, you doing it? Kayla Joe? Here I am. Mr. Morrow? Officer Morrow? Oh, okay. How about you do? We're in Ward 7. We'll be Ward 7 today.